Norska is the king of stealing heroes from other factions. They can do it faster and easier than anyone else. In Warhammer 3, there's a technique whereby you can steal heroes from your allies, allowing you to get heroes from other races. The technique is like this. You ally with any other faction, build up enough allegiance points to borrow an army containing an immortal hero, like Wolfart's Hunters or Belegar's Ghost Heroes, or just any hero that's over level 20 that'll automatically be immortal. You'll see a lot more of these as you move into the late game. As you're only borrowing the army, you can't spend skill points, remove the hero from the army, or disband any of the units, but you can move and attack with the army. We have a handy enemy army nearby, so we'll just enter forced march stance so that when they attack over the end turn, we won't be able to retreat. The next step is to get your immortal hero wounded in battle or assassinated by an enemy character. Losing a battle in forced march stance guarantees that the entire army will get wiped out. Your immortal hero then moves from the borrowed army into your faction's wounded hero pool, becoming your unit. 5 turns later, the wounded hero is available for use. Once part of your faction, the new hero functions normally. You can attach it to other armies, you can spend skill points, level them up, you can change their equipment. Note they may have some items that are faction only for their old faction, and you won't be able to re-equip those faction specific items if your faction can't also use them. Note the character may come with some race specific items or ancillaries. Be careful before you unequip them, as you won't be able to re-equip them unless you're of the same race. If you use this same method to steal immortal lords, they may come with banners equipped. Check out Cpecific's Ultimate Ancillary Guide that's just been updated for Warhammer 3. He actually has a list of what banners can be stolen from each faction. I'll put a link in the description below. I highly recommend everybody go to that link and bookmark Cpecific's guide. It tells you exactly how to get every follower in the game for every faction. There are some legendary heroes that you can just borrow and immediately get wounded without needing to level them up, like Belegar's Ghost Heroes or Wolfart's Hunters. There are also some legendary heroes that block their parent army from ever being borrowed, like Isabella von Carstein. If Isabella's in an army, even if it's not the faction's main army, a message will come up telling you you can't borrow that army. If you want to steal a hero that's not immortal, you need to borrow the army, then use the army to fight repeatedly to level up that character till they get to level 20. While you're doing that, you save up more allegiance points. Once the hero is level 20, you return the army back to their faction. The AI faction will then instantly level up the character. You then borrow the army back again, including the now immortal hero. You can then get them wounded and steal them as normal. It is time consuming and costly in wages, but you can steal heroes that way using any faction. But Norska has a special advantage that makes them the king of hero stealing factions, and it's this technology. If you control Naggarond and you unlock this technology, you can make all heroes immortal in your faction. This includes borrowed armies. So instead of just legendary heroes, all heroes instantly become immortal. So you don't need to worry about leveling them up or returning them to their faction to level up. You just borrow an army, get the hero wounded, and you have a new hero. In this save sent in by TotalWarHamster, we have enough allegiance points to borrow 3 armies, including a total of 7 foreign heroes that we couldn't normally recruit. I'll immediately move all 3 armies towards the closest enemy forces, putting them in force march so they can be attacked and destroyed over the end turn. A few turns later in the campaign, my stolen heroes that were wounded were ready for action again and have been joined to Throg's army, which has a lot of Skinwolf Werekin heroes, but now bolstered by a Skaven Packmaster that can summon wolf rats, an exalted hero of Nurgle that provides healing. Normally Norska doesn't have any access to healing abilities. Slaanesh Chaos Sorcerers mounted on the Slaanesh War Shrine that provides a Mortis Engine effect and an AoE damage over time ability. Again, an ability that Norska doesn't normally have access to. It is a bit of a time investment, but once you've got it set up, you can basically handpick any hero you want from any faction to get all the special abilities you need to make this ultimate all-star hero army. Starting with a brand new Norska campaign, it'll take you just over 40 turns to research Secrets of Dark Sorcery, although you can reduce this if you farm the Student Ancillary. By the time you've researched this, you should be able to make it to Naggarond. Probably take you at least 20 to 30 turns to conquer Naggarond, but you should be able to do that by the time the technology is completed. Then you also need to save up enough allegiance points with your allies to be able to borrow their armies. I'd say if you focus exclusively on hero stealing, you should be able to get all that set up and producing heroes for you by around turn 50 to 80, realistically. Allegiance points accrue very slowly and you need quite a few, so you want to Make as many allies and vassals as you can as early as possible. Unfortunately, it looks like a new bug was introduced to Norska in Immortal Empires, and they no longer have a post-battle replenishment option. They used to, but it's just gone now. They only have 2 buttons after the battle. They can't even take on captives when they fight other Norscan tribes. They just have no post-battle replenishment at all, which is particularly bad for a melee focused faction. If you want to learn more about instant post-battle replenishment and how to maximize it, I'll link a video at the end. Hopefully post-battle replenishment will get fixed for Norska soon, but in the meantime, hero stealing is something that you can still do uniquely well with Norska, and it's actually really fun.